You put your chair a little bit closer to mine. Hey, y'all. Good morning, and welcome to Coffee and Conversations, where we meet here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday just to drink our coffee and talk about whatever. And today's topic is do women ruin good relationships with their insecurities? Yeah. Do women sabotage? Ruin, sabotage, yeah. It's root of the word. Do you sabotage? You know, most people will be like, what is sabotage exactly? You know what sabotage is. When you unconsciously
sabotage good relationships with their insecurities.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think I had coffee since we had coffee. That was good.
Me either, because I've been teeing it out.
Mm-hmm. That felt refreshing going down and nice and warm. But yes, honey, that's going to be the question of today. So, you know, while we just sitting here letting time go by, talking about how was our weekend. How was you guys' weekend? What did you guys do? This weekend was another lit weekend.
Another lit weekend.
I guess at the end of the day, the best part of life is living, right? And enjoying everybody and their moments and their, you know, experiences and trying to actually participate in all celebrations, because basically the more we give, the more we fill up, right? And the more things that we do that we like, it gives us a better, I would say, fullness of the things that we want, right? So we can overflow, where we can off balance the things that are not working in order to be able to go on with enough fuel by doing the things that, you know, are working. And so, yeah, so, you know, celebrating with, you know, people and honoring people and just enjoying life is how you kind of counteract the negative and the bad stuff in life. Because as long as you can always think about, oh man, I just had a good time, then you release all these kind of inspiring things. When you're having a good time, you are inspired. Like, oh, you want to do something more. You want to do something better, right? Like when we went on vacation, you came back inspired. Like, okay, I want to go back on another vacation. That means you're going to have to set some goals in motion to be able to pick up and go again. And so, like, all of these things kind of, you know, inspire change, inspire, you know, a quality of life, right? Because there's no quality of life if you're just doing what you have to do every day and you're never doing what you want to do. So the quality will be lost even in what we understand success to be. Because some people think success is how much you have. And I think success is how many people you have to share it with, right? Because it is the things that are priceless. And so success is not what you can buy. Success is having the things that you cannot buy and still having the things to buy what you want to buy, right? So it's the balance of it all, because you can have somebody who reached their pinnacle of success and can buy anything. They can buy a friend if they want, but they don't want it, right? Everybody want organic, authentic, you know, relationships, and sometimes the price of success, is, you know, just being, you cannot buy it. You can rent it. Listen, you can rent it, but you can't buy it, right? I always tell people, you want the person who, you know, is so into what you can give them. And if they are, you know, just financial, then you can't come across a problem when you can no longer afford the rent. And then somebody else comes through and say, listen, I know they can't afford the rent, but guess what? I got the money. Now the house is under your nose because, hey, they was looking for the highest bidder. So you just got to be careful with, you know, making sure people are equally yoked on what success is. So now both of y'all think that having money is everything. Then y'all gonna grind. Y'all not gonna be offended when you like, oh, I gotta go to work to make this money. You're like, oh, I understand, right? That's what you need. You need somebody who can comprehend what value is to you opposed to what value is to them. And when y'all value system are not the same, you're gonna have discourse and disruption on a constant basis. So it's like really being real.
Yeah.
Being honest about whatever that looks like. But yeah, y'all, the topic of today is, what is it again?
Yeah.
Do women sabotage good relationships with insecurities?
Yeah.
Do women sabotage good relationships with insecurities? I would have to say a big yes. A big yes. And I think it's so unconscious. And we saying women, but I would say people.
Just people, yeah.
Just people, because when you are insecure in the field, right, you just don't think that, you got what it takes to hold the account, right?
Right.
You don't think you have what it takes to be able to protect the house, right? You don't think you have what it takes in order to go to the next level. So those insecurities would be you operating out of your lack mindset, right? Because it would be like, oh, this could happen because this happened before, right? Or it's all about the seeds that have been planted. And you can equally and easily change your mind. Right? I said in What the F is Your Mustard Seed, I think I spoke freely about that. And that might have been in chapter 1, where I just spoke about how I thought I was so faithful. And in the very beginning, it was like, everybody's like, listen, don't let men go to the strip club, right? And so I'm like, oh, no, you don't go to the strip club. You are a married man. You don't send the crackhead to the crack house. So, we young and you early 20s, you talking about people that are 21 and 22 married, right? You're at the prime of your age. So you're like, now you're nervous about, okay, now wait a minute. What happens when you go here? Oh, because now, of course, all your friends are single, because who gets married at 21 and 22? So you're already going to be an anomaly, right? So now you have to deal with the hearsay, because now you're battling a new marriage with a husband who is outgoing, who always hangs out and has a crew of single friends, right? So you're going to battle the insecurities of what they say. And so I'm complaining about this, and I'm complaining about this, and I'm nervous about this, and I'm nervous about that. Now, it didn't sabotage it to the fact that we didn't make it. Of course, I had some balance in it, but I'm sure my husband was like, girl, I ain't worried about nobody. You know what I mean? So I guess it especially early on, right? And then it's like, oh no, people are naked at the strip club. You don't need to go to the strip club. What happens when you see naked people gyrating around, right? And so you still got all these seeds. And so it's like, and then you be like, oh, well, that's a culture. People really go out and they don't pay no attention to it, but you just don't know. And so you definitely have, you have that insecurity. Yeah.
I know, but I was like, and this is when y'all come and y'all just be eating, like when women dance. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, when you go to strip, men be like, oh, you said once he took him to the strip club. She took her husband to the strip club one time. He's like, so this is what y'all do, y'all? Just sit around eating while people dancing.
I'm just eating the food. The food is good.
The food is good. See, that's how Chef Ron got us acclimated to be like, it's not what you think it is, right? So he took us to the gentleman's club. Yeah, he took us to the gentleman's club, and we got they had $7 steaks on Thursday or something like that.
Yeah. Crabs and
like all you can eat crabs is on Sundays or Mondays, Saturdays. I think it was Sundays. And then they had the steaks for I think it was $5, and the sides was $3 only on one day a week. The best steaks. So, and then the people are standing around you, these big chairs, and unless you facing the stage, you can get away with some stuff. But then I realized I had to realize that it was just, just seeds that got planted. You know what I mean? So
and it's the individual.
Yeah, and everybody's different. You got some that don't go out, to some that do. So I just got me a person that look, see that? He's the initiator.
Good morning.
Good morning, Misha. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello, Output. How are you today?
Hey,
I love that. Misha be like, "Hoods." As we get older, our thoughts and ideas change. Renew your mind daily. That part, right? We get better if we don't sabotage our relationship before we get older, right? Because that's what ends up happening, right? Because you get stuck in your ways, and it's so hard for older people to renew their mindset, right? You just think that you're getting over, or you get more understanding, because that what you don't understand can cause discourse because it doesn't make sense. But once you get clarity on it and you release the negative content or the negative ideas that you have attached to it, it will release your insecurities, right? So it's not like I'm like, oh, you want to go see a stripper? You done had a baby, so you're like, oh, I got stretch marks now, and I have, and I don't look like this. So of course you will be insecure, in a minor state, because you're looking at yourself who have changed, right? And so if you're thinking that you're looking at wanting to see idealistic body shape, idealistic body type, you want to be aroused by somebody who appears to be perfect. Back in the day, that was the requirement for strippers. Now I don't know what the requirement is. Everybody, but then because they are now financing the look, I mean, now you're competing with our robots because you got programmed to look like that. You didn't work to do that, right? And so now you're trying to compete with a program, and I can't compete with a program, because the way my time is set up, the way my eating habits is set up, I really have to have a disciplined thing. I can't just go and be like, I woke up like this, that, you know what I mean? And so it can become an insecurity.
What's that rapper name? Kendrick Lamar. Natural stretch marks. Something he was saying.
Come on, right? Because you want to hear that. Like, come on now you hear more men like they're so over the
perfect look.
The over perfected look to the point where now it's like, okay, this is. And I say they did it because when they was hearting and liking all those things, the person that was with you, that was watching you, right? They start thinking, oh, that's what they want. That's why you have to fix yourself. That's why because when you transform for what they want, now you single, because now they're like, oh no, we said we liked it, we didn't want it. Some things you like, but you don't always just want, right? Misha got me laughing to my Wandell took me to my first strip club. Listen,
look,
me too.
A lot of us saw first.
And then we took Diamond to his first when he turned 21. He couldn't wait. So, honey,
I'm telling you, Rondell took us a lot of little places, honey. Child. He showed us.
He's our father for real. Oh my God, he definitely grew us up. Our pugs. Hello, Nancy. Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. I see Kia trying to get her voice back, honey. She had a lit weekend, and it's all in her voice, honey. Let me tell you something. Oh God, we had a good time the whole weekend. Now
we had a busy weekend. Another busy weekend. Yes, I lost my voice on Friday. We gave my little sister the last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Mohicans.
To get married.
Whoa, somebody's getting married.
A bridal shower on Friday at my house. So I lost my voice that night.
And then the next day, I had a trap brunch with Ess's 22nd birthday.
And then my mom had a barbecue for my aunt's birthday.
Yes, honey. So, you was on two places on Saturday. You popped in, popped out. We never got out of there. We didn't get out of there till about 11. And then they went upstairs, and they didn't leave her place till like 4. I think I got home about 11:30. I was supposed to come back and hang out with them. I left my mama and my big sister over there with all of the not teenagers. I keep on forgetting
they grown
that they are 22. She's 22 now. So I have a whole 22-year-old. Ain't that crazy?
It was decorated.
Shout out to Trinice. She does an amazing job. It looks so sexy. Great. Yes, Trinice. That thing looks so nice. Yes.
Classy.
So classy. Sassy. Was it bougie and what's her sign say? Hanging with my bougie friends doing ratchet things.
With my
bougie friends doing ratchet things. So she had like, because
nice,
everybody had to wear tan, and so she had
like
a little
shades of
gold
brown.
sound. Yeah, with shades of brown.
Nude brown cream, like shades of the brown family.
It was so beautiful.
Nice. I came and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
girl.
they had the mimosa wine as soon as you walked in. There was like the mimosa glasses for you to make your mimosa on the way in, because it was, a trap brunch. And then
that was nice.
That was so beautiful. They party, honey.
That was nice.
Potions was in the building. Strong Gallons was in the building. Everybody was fun. They ate. There was shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles. French toast, croissants.
Oh my
sausage,
God.
bacon, home fries. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, I was supposed to come back, child.
Honey, you would have been on the second leg, honey. They would have made you shout it out. So it was good you went home.
Shot o'clock.
Every 10 minutes is what clock are y'all on?
I even left.
I know.
And I left like what? 5 something.
Yeah,
because Jalen caught me early.
Yeah, he got off early.
Yeah. Then I already had 2 shots. Within an hour. Mm-hmm. Within a half an hour, I had 2 shots.
I said Essence was so turned. It's so funny to watch them. Like when you watch them go from this little itty bitty baby to such a responsible adult. I mean, by far, she went way superseded past any of our wildest dreams on how incredibly responsible and ready she is for life. At 20, well, actually, she just turned 22, but at 21 still, having been a graduate with 0 debt because school totally got paid for from her mindset and her taking the time to do all of her little, what's it called? Getting the scholarships. And because listen, we got 5. So it was like, hopefully these brains. And one thing I'm so glad is that all of them maintain AB, period. Mostly A's, but A, B, honor roll. The 5 of them always, Essence always had A's. Like she would just be stressing if she got a B. And a B back in the day was still a 90-something until they changed the thing. So that one time she got a B and she was just having, I had to sit her down. Like, let me tell you something. What we not doing is perfect. That's what we not doing. You are doing like do not do that to yourself. Like nobody's gonna give you no different thing just cut. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, if you're doing the best that you got, she already had that mindset. So
I was just telling mommy about all the kids because mommy always be like, y'all do such a
good with our kids. Yeah,
we always be saying how the kids is just so well mannered and fun to be around, and little adults and just so smart. And I was saying how smart they is, and I was telling how Raymond was sitting at the table. Remember, he was like, next year I'm getting all A pluses. I was like, all right, Ray.
Oh right, this reason, yeah.
And I said, see how they don't play with school. I said, two be coming at the table like, okay, Jalen, what your grades look like?
Your grades look like? She's somebody's mom when she come up here.
They come, they get Jalen, they be upstairs. I said, Tutu. They even came here Friday and went upstairs to check on Jalen.
Did you go here?
I was like, hey, I said, remind me of us with Paul.
Yeah.
Paul was the only boy.
Paul, he was the only boy.
I said, I just love how that is. I said, they be doing their little TikTok. I said, it's just so cute.
It's so cute. Thing. I said, that's the part that I'm talking about. Those are the priceless moments. Like, just.
I know. I was like, it's just, wow.
So yeah, everybody's getting big, and so that's how our weekend was. It was amazing. It was amazing, and yeah, it's tripping because even the twins came to Essence Friday FaceTime.
Oh, they
was
came?
Like, yeah, they was at the party. Janine said she looked and she was like, "Is that Raymond?" Oh, there he walked to the party. Now, Big Man came in and went upstairs to her apartment. They upstairs eating popcorn. I see Wayvon in the party, honey. He got his cap on, he got his shades on, and he walking around looking at them trap dancing, honey. He watching the trap dancing in the building, honey. He's like, oh. I said, these little kids. I'm gold teeth and a little fake gold teeth, and I'm done with my kid.
I wouldn't even realize that was.
Rondell came upstairs to, we went upstairs. We running back and forth because it was at her place. So we go upstairs to Essence apartment. And who was sitting there? Big was sitting on the couch, but Big then got a 10 because all last week they went to Catwins every single day. Yeah. So he's bronze, but he had his hair just down, right? And Big hair now is like to his hips, like his hair hit like here. So with his hair just being down, it was kind of hanging like this. And he was just sitting on the couch. And he's so long now. Yeah, so he's sitting on the couch. And Chef Ron walked in like, who this up in Essence's house? He didn't even realize that was his son.
With his hair all down.
Because Big Man always got his hair back. Then you had to wear 10, so he was dressed like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I would have been like, because I never seen him with his hair all down. Okay.
Never seen him with his hair all down, so he didn't even realize that was him. That thing was hilarious. But yes, honey, that was how our weekend went. We had a ball. I hope you guys had a ball too.
Yeah.
But again, we're going to go back to the topic at hand.
And I'm going to make me something more hot to get on my throat.
So the question is, again, do women sabotage good relationships with insecurities? Can you sit back and think about some relationships that were probably good that maybe got sabotaged because you hadn't healed from the previous relationship? So you already had, premeditated things going on in your head. So now you automatically looking things different, and maybe you're putting more on things because of seeds that got planted. Because them insecurities are them seeds that get planted, right? Even in the moment where something go wrong, somehow you told yourself it has something to do with you, which then become the end, right? Because the security is inside. So when I have security, right, that means I have a foundation. When I have insecurity, that means that security that's inside must be checked, because that internal thing is confusing me. So what I'm experiencing is making me think it's about me instead of life lessons or about maybe that person, right? We take everything personal, right? And not process. That's why I started that whole saying, take it process, not personal, right? Because when you take it personal and not process, you make it about you because of what happened before. That's why I say forgiveness starts with you. Until I forgive myself, I won't have the capacity or the room to really organically forgive you. And true forgiveness means that I'm not hung up on it. That means, as Misha said, Queen Misha at the beginning, that's you renewing your mind daily. So an insecurity is a lack of renewal of mindset, because that means you're still trapped in yesterday's problems, right? Because if, let's say you was in an old relationship and somebody cheated on you and you stayed long and and they took you through the runner, and so now you're insecure, so now you're in a new relationship and you like, oh no, you need to be back. No, you need to call me every 5 hours, right? So then you draw that person away from you. Because you hadn't dealt with your trauma. You hadn't processed that pain, and you didn't renew your mind. And so now you got that old way of thinking with a new vessel, right? God said, don't put old wine in new wine skin. So that's the same idea if you're in a new relationship and you still got those old thoughts that are seeping into your new relationship. So now you bust in that relationship because it's going to expand, which is why you can't put old wine in new wine skin, because wine skin must expand. And if it's a new thing that skin has already expanded, that means it's going to have to expand again. So it means it's going to go past its capacity. It's going to burst, right? And so when you think about that concept and you're like, okay, if I have a new vessel, a new relationship, and I put those same old thoughts, those same old feelings, those same old problems, and I carry it with me, as Erykah Badu would say, bag lady, you carrying your stuff with you, right? Hiding your luggage, acting like you got to carry on when you got 3 bags that need to go underneath the plane. Okay? You can't, listen, can you afford the luggage? You walking around like you got to carry on, and when they say, okay, book the flight, Get what you got. Let's go. Now all of a sudden you got 3 big. Oh, I had a whole set. That was the small set. That was the small part of it.
A bag of fear.
Come on, girl.
Mistrust.
A bag of doubt. Say it again. A bag of fear. A bag of mistrust.
Come on. A bag of jealousy.
A bag of jealousy.
Come on now.
A bag of lack of femininity, right? Because that left in the last relationship. I got strong.
I'm
going to protect the a bag of lack of confidence. Come on now. Let's talk about it. What are the things that we are insecure about? The bag of my body ain't how it used to be 20 years ago. You damn right it ain't. Because you live in. Thank God. Right? And so things that live grow. Look, listen, everything else that lives grow. That tree that was there 20 years ago ain't the same size today. Who you think you are? That, you know, the baby that you gave birth to that grew up, they ain't the same size today. Everything grows now. You can grow with moderation. You can exercise your right to form different body parts. You know what I mean? All that other stuff, but it's going to grow. Your body going to grow. You going to have a baby, your thing going to stretch. It's not going to look like the same baby. We have to accept growth in all magnitudes because those are our biggest insecurities, right? Because we think that if we look perfect, then life will be perfect. And that's a lie, right? Because the most perfected thing, that's why they say insecurity. It's a security inside that I have to work on so that I don't see things bigger than what they are. That it could only be a moment and not a whole lifestyle or a whole way of seeing things, right? And so in this moment, this is what happened. In this moment, this is how I dealt with it. So I think that when you go to the next relationship, having the knowledge of how to get over something is important, right? That's the lesson that you learn. Having the knowledge of how to get through something is the lesson you learn, right? And so in life, it's like that knowledge is what's going to grow you. That knowledge... Oh, you should have used the goblin, right? That knowledge is what is going to keep you. And so it's like those securities that got broken inside of us because we associated other people's behavior with our worth, right? Because your behavior made me equated to my worth, I became insecure, right? I allowed your mismanagement of discipline to become my scar. Mm-hmm. And so an insecurity is something because you didn't know who you were and you allow who they were to dictate who you were. And then you started to have this sense of brokenness in you because then you told yourself, I'm not enough. Right. And so now I'm worried about who's more than me.
Correct.
Who's going to take my stuff, right? Who's lurking around, right? And so now you ain't going to get my stuff.
That's what I was worried about. Baby mama's taking my stuff back.
Come on now, tell the truth.
Real story, because I'll let you know my husband is older than me. Mm-hmm. And he was married before. Mm-hmm. And he had a baby on the way while we was dating. And I accepted that when he told me. And I was like, okay, I got you. We still going to be together. I'm not going to just leave you because you got a baby on the way. So I made that decision to accept the fact that I've never been in a situation like this, but you're going to have a baby on the way. You already got 2 kids. So it's like, but during the process, it's like, I never had to deal with another woman in a relationship. And I never really did until my husband. But he wasn't my husband at the time. But look, he's my husband now, right? So we obviously got through.
Yeah, that part.
But I was younger than him. So, of course, I had insecurities because I'm like, when you bring the baby, you got to pick up the baby or drop the baby off. Yeah. I'm insecure that I don't know what she's going to try to say or do to you to try to get you back. And so it's kind of like, I was kind of stressing him, like, it don't take that long to drop no baby off. What is you doing?
That part.
So, I mean, I was insecure until I had to realize, Nakia, stop. Like, because I could see the stress on his face.
Yes, that part.
When he come home, it's kind of like, is you going to be acting funny towards me?
Yep.
You going what you know, because then I would have a little attitude. Yeah. And I had to adjust that, like, you acting immature. And he's an older man, so he don't need no immature child. And that shouldn't be, like, these are kids. Like, why is he already stressed out on this, and he coming home and stressed? Like, that is so unhealthy.
Yes.
So I had to check myself and be like, listen, girl, stop. Mm-hmm. Stop acting like a little girl and be a grown woman. Like, I had to check myself. Yeah. And I stopped doing that, and I just started, being excited when he got home, and I was just changing my whole. But that was my insecurity, But it was little stuff that made me like that, but it didn't matter. It was the decision that I had to. Yeah. So it's definitely, and you like, I'm young, and so it's like, stop, just stop.
And once again, it goes back to even the seeds that planted, because I think what's so powerful about what Kia said is that she had never dealt with that before then. Mm-hmm. So the question is, why did she have the thought? Right? The seed that was planted in her that it is unsafe. Right. That's what I'm saying. The thought is just the world, right? Those things that you hear all the time. Men will be men. Do you understand what I'm saying? What does it say? Oh, men will be men. I'm saying these seeds that get planted is what gains legs, right? Because often we say two things have to touch and agree for it to be so. So it's that idea. And see, that's the point I'm trying to make. That's why your thoughts are so real. Because the minute the minute you think it, you could play the movie off in your head. Oh, yeah, you go down So it's like really, we're back to the accountability we spoke about on Friday, right? That to have an account is to know what's going in and what's coming out. Right. And having the ability to work that account and actually do your checks and your balances. And so there goes that thing, right? So he's never done nothing that he should be guilty for. He's never said nothing. He actually put his cards on the table. He was upfront. You know when he going. You know why he going. But yet still there was a seed, right? From those sayings in the world, right? That get us bound and get us locked up. Yes, right. And the movie called Life, because you could look around and be like, oh girl, honey, we can see what this baby age you got. You got two babies at the same time from you can see that in the world, right? Amongst your peers. So even though it's movie life, it's real life, because honey, Jerry Springer opened up the door for everybody to see how real life can get, right? And so with that being said, you still got the seeds of other people's experiences that has hindered your ability to not sabotage your process, right? Because like I'm saying, if you had gotten what you needed from a past relationship where it fell down, God's only intention for it was you to take that information and go, not for you to cast it against anybody, but for you to understand what was God equipped in you in that moment, right? Maybe you needed to pay attention more. Maybe you need to value yourself more, because maybe you already knew, but you were just waiting for a sign, right? In some scenarios, sometimes you need to check yourself, because maybe you the problem. Maybe you keep on painting these pictures in your head because of what they said, he said, she said, and now y'all can't stay together because you're listening and worried about what went wrong in other people's life. But I tell you one thing about a millionaire, there ain't a million of them, but everybody has a goal to become one. Do you know what that means? That means irregardless of all the people who couldn't make it as a millionaire, I'm still holding on to the small percentage that I can be the one. Why can't you do that in all your relationships, right? Maybe you say, well, all relationships don't last and all relationships don't do that, and sometimes it's this. So why can't you be the millionaire of the relationship? Oh, all kids don't do. Why can't you be the millionaire and the parent? If the things that we have belief in with no results. See, me believing in being a millionaire, I understand that the belief is not enough, right? So that I would have to set goals, right? And so I could see myself as rich. I could see myself as this. Right. That part. You're going to put yourself in it to win it.
Out of all the people around the world, you're going to be the winner.
You're going to be the winner. So that's what you told yourself. I am Malcolm X. I'm that 10% that's going to be winning.
Lucky numbers, I'm holding
that part. But for some reason, when we're in our relationships, we think we're going to be the loser.
Dang.
right? We think that if that happens to her, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Right. That's what you're saying. Ain't going to be me. Not me.
It won't be me. I ain't going to be.
So that's what you tell yourself, right? But that's my point. The point is you got to have the desire to want what's not normal then.
Think positive.
Right? You got to have the desire to...
Until you see what your own
eyes... To get through those
don't
things.
Be the person that... Don't believe... Not that your eyes is lying. I ain't going to believe my lying eyes. Yeah. You better believe those eyes, they ain't lying. If you see it, now that's your proof. But if you just thinking it, you going to believe me on them lying eyes. That's some stuff, girl. But honey, yes, you will sabotage based off of, now if somebody tell you something, you start playing detective, and you see something, now you believe your eyes. But other than that, like, all right
now. Other than that. Let me find this thing.
But what happened?
No. But I think that's
But yeah, you could definitely sabotage. You could definitely sabotage a relationship with negative thoughts. Definitely.
Add a WhatsApp button to what the F is your mustard seed.
What's that?
Faith.
I see that a lot on
You'll switch to your page in the process. I tell you, every day is a new lesson.
With this meta. It's like,
oh my God. And you need it all because it's going to benefit you once the systems are in place. But you're like, another thing to learn. I just got distracted, y'all. See how easily it is to be distracted? Oh my God. Okay, so let me find it. Yeah, she said somebody they lost it. That's just why I can't be on the thing. That young boy, he must have passed.
Oh.
So she said she's struggling to find the words
of comfort
for my son. No, who was on the news?
The 15-year-old boy got shot in Monroe or somebody.
In Monroe.
It's so much stuff.
It is so much stuff going on, and I think that's the scary part.
Cherish people, honey. I'm telling you, never.
Better enjoy them now while you can, because God knows, honey. Life is not promised.
It's not. That's why you gotta create these memories and lose your voice. Be like, girl, I lost my whole voice. I sure did, but it's all right though. But yeah, y'all. What y'all got going on?
Yes, honey. Ain't nobody gonna tell us about y'all insecurities, huh? Y'all ain't had none.
Oh, we the only ones with stories for real.
We the only one that was over here nervous.
Conversations.
We the only one.
Right. We wanted to bring y'all into our conversation so we can have talk. We can talk about it.
You know what happened to you, boo?
What y'all almost sabotaged, honey, based off y'all insecurities.
I think that's the only one. That only one is. I mean, for most of you, got insecurities about somebody else coming in and being better at it than you, doing better at it than you, acting better at it at you. And they often say, you think the grass is green on the other side, because I just think I heard this saying not too long ago where they say, the grass isn't green on the other side. You just have to understand that somebody else nurtured that grass. So that grass is green on the other side because of how they took care of that grass. You ever walk through your neighborhood or walk up the block and all of y'all are sitting on the same soil because the houses are on the same block. So the dirt is the same in my yard as in her yard as in his yard. And the only difference is how we tended to our garden. And so when you are envious of somebody's promise, you got to sit back and say, did I even ask them the process? So when I see your grass is green, I say, well, what do you do for your grass to look that great? Because we on the same block and we getting the same sun and we getting the same rain and we getting the same oxygen and we are getting the same elements.
Yeah.
What are you doing different that your grass looks greener than mine and we seem to be in the same atmosphere? That is the question. And so that's what the word says, ask and ye shall receive. And so if you see somebody with something doing things that you would like, the way to reverse that insecurity is ask for the steps, the system
you want what
that creates that.
How I get it and take the necessary same steps that I did to get the results. Because if you do what I did, it's guaranteed to get what I got.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I did.
So I had to beat the system. Instead of being insecure, I had to say, oh, you want to go to the club? The club is here. You created a system,
right,
that changes the atmosphere. You create something that makes it work, right? I found out that if I didn't want my husband to go out for whatever reasons, when I'd be like, oh, you don't need to go, he will go. But if I'd be like, oh, babe, I was thinking that you was going to lay here with me and da-da-da-da, guess what he did? He would say. Oh, that stuff I had to learn.
The strip club.
Look, I was 10 years in before I learned that. So imagine all that time, trial and error, trying to go like this instead of feminizing myself. And every time I walk in my feminine wiles, I won every single time.
Don't be so like,
yes. So those insecurities sometimes make us stronger than we need to be, right? Because now we got this defense mechanism.
Like, tell us.
Like we would our Uzi out on everybody. So you know what I'm saying? And I say Uzi because that mess be oozing out of your mouth, and you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm calling it a Uzi, because you like, oh, did I say that? That's Uzi. That's Uzi. The shot's fired. You ain't even know. You done got that going straight up the building. Right. So it's like,
he running out the door.
I ain't got time for this. This girl's crazy.
Out of here. Yeah, let's go. Because I ain't listening to her mouth all night.
Because who want to get shot up?
Nah.
But
I'm running.
You running from the bullet.
Come on now. I ain't going to stand there in front of it and be like, I'm running.
Yep. Yeah. So to be honest, it's like now you understand that type of energy repels.
Yeah.
And love pulls in.
Yeah.
And so that's why you really got to get out of your feelings and into your healers and start asking yourself in those moments when that feeling of unworthiness comes up. Because once again, insecurity means that there's security missing on the inside. A part of you is not secure enough to feel like you're enough. Right? And even when you're saying like, oh my God, I don't think I'm unworthy. Yeah. If it's an insecurity, you do, because when the problem happens, you deal with it. Yeah. Because if you had dealt with it before, that means that you are qualified to deal with it this time. And you shouldn't be nearly as affected because you have been through that already. Right? So I tell you, when I did my 21-day fast, that first year I did it, could have took me out. I thought I was going to die in the bed on that 24-hour fast where we couldn't eat. I literally was looking at my husband on the bed and was like, oh my God, I don't think that we're going to make it. Like, I hope we wake up in the morning. If we don't, I love you. Like, one day of not eating, I was going to die. That's what I was telling myself. That's how much my body was aching for what it was used to, right? But the next time, not that month. That 21 days was a struggle to the last damn day. I ain't gonna hold y'all. But the result was phenomenal. The way we felt was phenomenal. All of these things worked out good. But the next year, when we did it again, guess what happened? We were scholars. The process didn't break us like that. Why? Because we had already, it wasn't a faith walk no more. Yeah. Everything the first time is a faith work. Freedom after insight to higher self, right? So the first time it was a faith work, and the unknown can be very scary. It can make you insecure. But once you know that if somebody lies on you, you won't die. If somebody cheats on you, you won't die. If somebody disappears on you, you won't die, right? well, what's that name? We don't gonna call it disappearing like somebody done kidnapped them. We talking about ghost you, right? If somebody ghosts you, you won't die. You know what that is? That is you being able to realize that you can make it past any situation. Once I tell myself that I'm not afraid that something is going to happen that's going to destroy the infrastructure of who I am. So my insecurities is because I don't want my infrastructure to break like it did that time. And so I'm really in a relationship, but I'm kind of doubting it. And when you doubt it, you take God out of it. And so it don't, a thing apart from God ain't going to have no flourishment, right? And in order for you to flourish, you got to have God in it. And so if you're doubting it, then God is out of it. Once you put him back in it, then you get that secure feeling because I don't care what happens, I can deal with it. But until it happens, I'm not going to deal with it. And so if you're dealing with it the whole time, you going lower and lower into yourself. Because why are you dealing with this thing over and over and over again when actuality, you ain't got to deal with it.
You're making a decision to deal with it.
Right. So that's the work. The work is saying that I have to let these things go. The work is saying that I have to acknowledge where I am right now. That's all the work. The work is, once again, that accountability, that it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got something to do with me. And until I fix me, until I go inside of me and secure my bag, which is my mindset, right? Because the bag is the mindset, everything you think you create. Once I secure my bag, then I can flourish more with you because then I'll deal with it if it comes, when it comes. But I ain't going to be worried about it during, in, and out. When do you get a time for rest or security in self, right? Queen Misha says, I work daily in female friendships and insecurities in those relationships unless it's my family. That part.
Yeah, you can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
You can't control you. That's the only thing you can control is you.
Yes. And that's good too, Misha, bringing up the, even the insecurities in relationships with fellow women, right? Because now it's like, I can't even celebrate you the way I should be celebrating you because, right? Because it's what I wish I had or what I want to have, or you see what I'm saying? Where I'm more hating on you than I'm like, girl, do that thing. Girl, look how you doing. Girl, you a bad one. Girl, you see what I'm saying? Yes. It's so much easier to be like, girl, you walked up in instead of being like, oh, she thinks she all that. Girl, you walked up in here owning the room. That's what I'm talking about. Where's that energy? Right. Instead of being like, how many people, come on now, how many people, or you or somebody in your circle or whatever, like, who she thinks she is? She coming in here like she own the place. And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Clearly, she got ownership energy because you thought she owned the place. But you see what I'm saying? But in the same concept, if you don't have no insecure energy, you be like, oh, she is working that.
Girl, come on now. Hey, lady. Right. I'm loving the way you just came up in here. Girl. Do it, sis.
Girl.
You got to have that celebration spirit in you. What is wrong with us?
Yeah, so I love that.
Yes, you got to, we got to embrace one another. I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. Girl, I'm loving your confidence. And then you will realize that sometimes they be like, girl, I had a rough freaking day this morning. I had to just put this armor on me this morning when I walked out the door. Put my head up and girl, for real, because then she might break down crying because you just don't know the day she had. But you up here hating and you like, for real, girl, and y'all like, oh my God, but girl, you did that. I can't tell. Yeah. So it's like, I be like, girl, I feel like that too, and I'm still feeling like that. So
I feel like we gotta continue on this one on Wednesday for sure. Come on.
We supposed to support and embrace one another to keep picking each other up, not hold each other down or put them down. It's like anytime you see another woman, you bring them up, you compliment them, you say something nice because you just be a nice person. You like something about them, you let them know. Yeah. Girl, I just had to say, you're so pretty. Like, not that I'm a lesbian or anything. I just think you're so pretty. Yeah. That lipstick is popping on your lips, girl. Yeah. I ain't trying to talk to you. I'm complimenting you. Yeah. So So it's crazy to me. It's like,
Jayla
be like, Mom, you always saying something to somebody because you not saying. I'm like, what? That dress was, she was wearing that dress. Like, what's the problem? Yeah.
Yep, you said that part, but continue motivating.
It's like,
that's it. Listen, Misha Queen put no, honey. She was girl. I like girl. And then she's used to people complimenting her because she walks in and she owns the room. And so it is hard, like you say, to be somebody who wants to. And I love that Kia brought that up because most of the time, if you wake up not in the right thing, you might say, girl, I want to put on the outfit. I want to go get my hair done. Everybody, and once you get your hair done, you feel better, right? Mm-hmm. Once you take that shower and wash that stuff off of you and put on something that makes you feel like you look like you walk in and it's like, and you want people to receive you because I wrapped my gift up. I took time with my gift. I didn't just put it out there. I just show up any old kind of way. I took care with the only thing that I have possession over. And you want to be celebrated for the care you take with self instead of judged or, or spoken of or just being treated as if, oh, well, who she thinks she is. It's like, I think I'm a child of God. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you're not?
Right.
It's my question. Right. Who do I think I am? But the question is, who do you think you're not?
Mm-hmm.
Let's reverse that. It ain't about me. I'm good with me.
Yes.
I have some days, but right now I'm feeling good about me. So for you to ask me, who do you think you're not? Is the question.
It's the question. I am, but I am.
I am Malcolm X. I am Betty Smalls. I am Queen Latifah. Ladies first. Ladies first.
But Misha, I love that one because I swear I think that is the most essential because those insecurities make you mess with somebody else's man, right? Because it's like, well, he think I'm enough.
And no, Queen, we not doing that. Put yourself in her shoes. But you want somebody, just the fact that you know they married, they mean they belong. They already taken. It's not put yourself in her shoes. Would you be that other, like, no, let's stop doing that. She must not be doing something. Wait, stop. Stop telling yourself this stuff. It's wrong. Yeah. You put yourself in the other woman's shoes. That's that other woman cheating with your husband. Like, stop. You know right from wrong. It is wrong.
Yeah.
They committed to each other in a marriage. Nobody told them to get married, no. But they gotta work it out on their own. He ain't free, she ain't free.
Yeah.
Stop.
I say responsibility is the ability of measurement in which you respond. And everybody has their own individual level in which God holds us accountable to, right? Because he says, well, not he, right? But Dr. Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Right? And so with that information, because words have power, the point is when you get to the point where you know what it is and you understand what it is, then you do better in how you show up. You do better in how you act, right? And so you have to be intentional. You definitely have to be intentional. Not queen behavior. Nope.
Absolutely not.
And that's okay, because sometimes, before you get to the castle, you can act a little bit peasantish. But don't be calling yourself a queen until you make it to the castle, okay?
It's not queen.
If you got some peasantry about you, right? No honor, no grace. I was a peasant in my day.
Oh, we all was peasants.
We all was peasants, but God said when you grow up, you put those childish things away. You understand the consequences of your actions. So at 40,
what?
You should know way more than you know at 20, right? You understand what I'm saying? So you are supposed to be developing, right? You're supposed to be going from glory to glory. And so we don't want the same story at 20 and 40. That's no glory in that.
You still sounding like you in your 20s.
Right. What are you doing? Right. You're going into the teaching age. You're now elderish. You're going into the teaching these young people who are in their 20s, when you first get in that, that's when your elasticity is good, you know? When your insecurities is on low because your body on high, right? Because I'm telling you, it's when stuff start happening. Like, you can tell me I wasn't the shit at 19.
An example for the younger generation and our daughters and kids to be looking at you as the example, not looking at you like, that's how you getting treated. Oh, Lord Jesus, it couldn't be me. No, you're supposed to be the elderish example. Not still acting like you're in your 20s and you don't know better. When you know better, you do better.
And that's why I often say that transparency is crystal clear and it has the word parent in it. So as adults, we are parenting, and you may not have had the child. To parent is to kind of guide someone that's under you because you are wiser than them, right? And so I'm giving you guidance until you get to the amazing age where I set you free and God does what he does on the next level, right? So I'm doing what I can do to set enough of a foundation so that when you get to the world and you got to live your testimony, that you are equipped to make it through where you won't look like your story when you wind up, right? Because everybody got a price of admission. I don't care how perfect finances may not be your thing, but having quality relationships may be. Having a relationship may not be your thing, but having finances will be, right? You just got to understand that you may have a different thing that you're working on or that you have to adjust to or you have to learn, but everybody got their thing. And so you have to decide, what is my thing? What is the thing that I'm working on? What is the thing that I need to do? What is that thing in the relationship? So it's like, that's life. You know what I'm saying? That is life. And so I think it is it's very important that we are intentional with our relationships, in love relationships, as Queen Misha pointed out, in family and just friends relationships, right? Is being able to really not sabotage them. Because we sabotage our relationships with our friends.
So the ship can move. Like you be saying, but like when you say, you don't know the thing you thinking, relate to it.
Yes.
So that you can make a bond. So that it could go somewhere.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Because if you think she all of that, then relate to that. You never felt a day where you thought you was all of that, so relate, compliment, and let it move. So you don't be stuck in that. Stage. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the breakdown of those words, because you realize when you really listen and break down the words, it's like you're telling me what to do. Relationship, relate so the ship can move and you're no longer anchored in your understanding. And so that's why empathy is so much more powerful than sympathy. Because I don't have to go through it to feel where you at. My going through at the level that I had to learn was enough for me to have enough of an understanding at where you might be and how that might feel and how you might feel paralyzed. Remember, what the F is your mustard seed? While both can be true at the same time, you can be living in a constant state of faith and fear. And they can swap minute by minute. You ever know at 2 o'clock you doing something and you like, I got this. And then you come with a problem at 2:30 on that same system. And now you like, oh my God, I can't. You shift that quickly. So when I say what the F is your mustard seed, it is because there is a thin line between faith and fear. And the line is the moment you get in unfamiliar territory, because faith is the things hoped for, not seen. So when I get to a point where I'm paralyzed, now I'm hoping for the best because of what I want, right? But now I'm scared that I'm not qualified to have what it takes to get me the extra mile. See, that faith is, I don't care. I'm by any means necessary. I'm going to figure this out. Because as long as I know where I'm going, I can figure out how to get there. I don't care if I got to ask 10 people. See, the thing is, when we're lost in the car, to go someplace that's not even that important, we will ask 10 people how to get where we're going, to finish going to that party, to finish, to go to a family event, to go. I'm not saying the places that you're going are not important. What I'm saying is that the destination is not life-changing. Your destination, your destiny is life changing. How many times do you stop and get direction from where you're going? And it's important.
Your destiny.
Right. So do you go to relationships and be like, you know what? I have to work on my insecurities. How many women can you honestly say you or somebody else walked up to you and be like, you know what? I'm insecure in this area. What do you suggest? Because you look like you're confident in that area, and they may say, listen, I am not, honey. I am faking it till I make it. But these are the things that I'm doing just so that I don't smell like fear.
Yes.
These are the things that I'm doing so I don't smell like doubt. These are the things that I'm doing so I don't smell, because I know I'm a multi-level representative of God. Yes. Right? Multiple streams of spirit. I'm a multi-level marketer for God. And so that's why I put my faith on, because I'm faithful to him. So no, I may not be clear, but that ain't your business. Why you minding God's business? So you hating on somebody who is actually doing the work, who had to, like Kia said, wake up and put on that outfit so that they can feel good about walking into that room that they don't even want to go into, but God said they had to be there. So they are following that gut. So I had to put my face on, and I had to put my dress on, even though at home my life is falling apart. That's that faith walk. That is the operating in the F that matters, so that I can diminish the insecurities, because I understand in order for me to be secure, I got to protect my fortress. I'm the security inside my fortress. I'm the one that knows what I need. I'm the one that knows what breaks me down. I'm with myself 24/7, as you are with yourself. So to not know how to work and manage your body, right? Your mindset, right? Because once I learn how to manage that and I get those wires crossed up right, then the body is a daggone machine. So, right, it's going to do what you tell it to do. And so if I don't fix those insecure thoughts in my mind, no wonder my body is not operating like the robot that it was called to be, because the default setting got me insecure. That default setting got me feeling like I'm sabotaging things. Why? Because deep down I'm thinking, well, look what happened to Halle Berry. It could happen to me. Look what happened to Beyonce. Right? We give ourselves reasons to have a default setting. And so then we operate in that insecurity unconsciously because we are comparing. And another thing that your soul doctor has taught you is comparison is the thief to gratefulness. There is no gratitude where there is comparison. They cannot dwell in the same place. And so if I'm comparing what happened in my old relationship to what's happening in my new relationship, then there is no grace for the space, which means why I am now continuing to go lower in myself. My vibration is shrinking because I'm creating a bridge to the wrong place. There is no comparison from here to here. I'm equipped for this relationship. And if this don't work out, I'm going to get up way faster because I already done that. I know the way. So I'm not scared to be in a new relationship. Been there, done that. Been broken. Pick myself back up. I got this. So I'm willing to do it again in the hopes that my reward would outweigh my risk, right? Because it's risk and reward. So you got to ask yourself, is the risk of putting yourself out there and abandoning those insecurities worth the reward of a lifetime of love and understanding? Are you willing to put in that in the pot, you, to get a fullness back out, to get a return on your investment, right? And so anything we do in life, like I was just telling the kids the other day, it's risk versus reward. You got to say, is it worth? Is it worth me spending this $20 to show up and be in this experience with these people, right? That's a reward. Is it worth me paying for a $5,000 conference to get inspired on a level that's going to give me 20 million fold, right? That I got to understand what is the risk versus the reward. And until I can equate it, I don't take the steps. So I secure the bag by outweighing my risk and my reward. And so if I do the proper steps, so I don't feel like I'm risking it all, because I understand that my faith is my freedom after insight to higher self. So I'm not stuck in my fear, false evidence appearing real. I'm in my new way of fear, forget, escaping, and rise. I have the ability to grow in any situation. The question is, are you willing to risk what happened to you yesterday to get what you dream of for tomorrow? You got to be willing to put it on the table. You got to put you on the table. You got to put your feelings on the table. You got to put yesterday's doubts on the table. You got to trade in that for the chance at the reward. You don't get what you hope for. You get what you work for.
Come on now.
You don't get what you hope for. You get what you work for. So we got to work on finding ourselves worthy, yes, in order to evict the insecurities that are targeting us in healthy relationships. So your insecurities target a healthy relationship. That is the kryptonite. So as long as I'm insecure, stuff will always creep in to my joy, because if I could get your mind, remember, that's all the devil asks for. Let me get Job's mind.
Come on now. And right? The other fear start creeping in, which is what? What's the other fear?
What's the other fear?
The false evidence. The fear we don't want.
False evidence appearing real.
Because we're going to start with the new fear.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the new fear?
Forget, escaping, and rise.
Come on now.
Because you're qualified. Right?
Now.
And so we have to evict the things that don't serve us. Come on now. That's why you get evicted, because you ain't serving in the property. You ain't serving in this area. You are evicted. So I have to evict the things that are stopping me from becoming who God called me to be, from having the relationships that God designed for me to have. So as long as I'm stuck in the pain of yesterday, I can never give birth to the new idea of today. And that happens because I trust the process. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about that.
You choose what to even look at, because if you say, because I don't want to be like so-and-so.
Come on now.
I don't want to do it because look how it happened for so-and-so.
Come on.
Why are you looking at the negative stuff? Won't you renew your mind and say, I'm going to keep going because I will be like
the person you want to be like. Come on now.
I ain't talking about him sleeping in the car. Yeah, that's his low moment, but that's not what I'm focused on. Yeah. I'm at a low moment. So I'm looking at the prize. I'm looking at the promise. The promise. So I'm keep going because of the promise. I'm gonna buy this lottery ticket because I will be the winner. You're not buying it because I think them lucky numbers. I dreamed about these numbers too. Proud walking up like that commercial with that man
like I'm the one. I'm the one.
I want 5, 7, 3, 8.
What? 25, 38, 25, 38. Come on now. You gonna be like a winner.
Put him in there.
He played that number every day till he won.
Positive. Stop thinking about the negative.
You crazy.
I was looking at that commercial with that man dancing. And back in the day, he had on them pants, them tweed pants, and that shirt.
Boom, 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 boom. 25, 37.
You was all positive and stuff. Going to get them numbers with that money, man.
Come on now.
You
no
gotta
doubt.
Think like that every day. Like, you gotta have that pep in your step and that spunk when you going for whatever it is you want. Don't think of the negative, how it ain't gonna work, how it. Yeah, we know bumps gonna be in the road, but think of the destiny, the end goal. That's what you keep focusing on, that positive stuff.
And again, don't forget it. You don't get what you hope for,
honey.
You get what you work for. And let me tell you, a healthy relationship requires work. Just like a healthy, remember, health, heal thy history. Look at the word health, HEAL is heal. T stands for thy. H stands for history. That's another healing of course, the soul doctor. But the breaking down that word, that you understand that when I heal thy history, I'm no longer insecure, because I'm not trapped in the victim of it. I'm trapped in the victory. If Jesus, Yeshua, stopped when he got crucified, there was no power in the crucifixion. It was a representation that nothing can stop him from rising. Nobody. Nothing. Not what you think shall prosper.
Come on.
And he forgave everybody and came back up, right? And so that's what we got to understand. Healing our history is not taking it personal. It's taking it process. And if I'm treating you with insecure behavior because of what somebody did before I got to you, then that's taking it personal. And that's not taking it process. And to take it process is to accept the things that I cannot change. Learn what I need to pull off of it. Remember, letting go, love every trial. Go, get over. You love every trial to get over.
Get over it.
Because you get to be here. Grace expects testimonies. So start asking yourself, what is the testimony of that relationship? Because where man meant for bad, God always meant it for good. And so I always used to say, to be mad at them would be to be mad at God, and God wrote them in like that. Doesn't mean I got to deal with them, but it does mean that the discourse in me will not keep me stuck. And then sometimes they may come out. You might have to get it out, because if you say it in a controlled environment, you understand what a controlled environment? Maybe you just got to say it to God, because everybody you got blabbermouths. Maybe you just got to say it as a pillow talk to your husband because he don't know your friends, right? I don't care. You got to talk to your friends because you know the difference between that. So whatever that reason is, you got to be intentional about releasing it so it doesn't take over you and keep you insecure, right? If I let it out, it's no longer a part of me. Remember, I taught y'all, this is our Sabbath, that we are made 70% of water. Water holds memories. And so 70% of the thing that is flowing through you is what you think. It is the memories of everything you've ever done up until this point. And so if you don't take the time to change your memories by creating new ideas toward them. Oh, no, that guy hurt me. But then I changed it to, you know what? But because of that, I learned to love myself more. I turned that negative into power. I turned that pain into power, right? That's the shift. How do I turn my pain into power? I take the very exact situation. Oh my God, I got molested. But I learned that God loved me anyway, that I have the value to find truth, that I have the value to find somebody that can love me, to not get caught in the pain of it, because guess what? That was somebody else's, what's the phrase? Affliction. We are all afflicted. And everybody's afflictions may be different. And if I allow your affliction to be my story, then I lose God's glory, right? Because it ain't about God. It's how you are written into my story, and you haven't done your work. And because you haven't done your work, it affected my process. But God won't put more on you than you can bear. And so even in that pain, you think that process was supposed to take you, but it was supposed to make you, because there was a problem and you are the solution. And I'm reversing engineering this thing, because I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. I knew who you was going to come through. I knew the things that you would endure, but I also knew that you were equipped to endure these things, because there is an assignment that is placed on your breath. And so every day you breathe, I want you to breathe that pain until it becomes your power. Every day you're insecure, I want you to feel it until you evict that insecurity and find out that you are enough. So that is the process of trusting yourself. It is overlooking the things that you got up from, so that you can see the value in what it required, so that when you reach the next pinnacle of life, you understand I am equipped, because now I'm looking over all those negatives that I turn positive. That means I am a magician. I seize the moment. I don't let it to rob me. I actually buy the moment back. And so you could have called it molestation that got me stuck, but I brought it back. I wrote a book about it. I started a movement about it. So the little Precious inside gets to look at the big Precious who grew up and can sit back and say, well, my God, that hurted, but it was worth the price of admission, because what you did with the pain that was given meant that the who may kill you, but the what will heal you, that what is your wisdom hat. And because you seized that and you didn't allow it to take you under, you developed. You got 10 times over what you could have got had you stayed stuck in that place. And so once we understand the power that God gave us, right? We say in spite of, no, it's because of that thing you are who you are. It is because of what I went through that I see stuff the way I see it. It is because of how I develop past that situation that I don't take it personal, that I take it process, that I'm not damning God or damning anybody else around or that would take away from the power of love. And God said the greatest of this is love. And had I let them break me, I couldn't love on this level.
Yes, honey.
I couldn't show up on this level.
Honey. You is a ray of love. Honey.
You understand? So it's no excuses. Yeah, it's no excuses. We gotta show up.
Who is an equal burst of
love.
Like y'all two coming on, it's just
through the insecurities, honey. Because I had to climb out of some insecurities now.
It's like just love upon love. Yes. It's like it's crazy.
I had to climb out some insecurities now. Let me tell you, honey. I ain't want nobody to watch my kids because I'm insecure. Man can't be trusted. I don't give a damn if it's your daddy. You see what I'm saying? Those what insecurities look like from your past experiences if you don't take the power from them. If you stay in the pain, you never get to rise to the occasion of who you were called to be. And so they molest you or they rob you. And it happens over and over again if you don't change your worth after that. If you allow your worth to be a part of the story, then you can never evolve into feeling like you are enough. So I am secure in who I am in order to be who God called me to be. And so that's how we say to deal with the insecurities is to deal with the valley moments, find your value in them and rob back, take it back. He said, Yeshua got up with all power in his hands. They got him up with keys to life. So you now got a key to life for somebody else that you can unlock their door. If you remove the shame and get in your lane, if you allow your mess to aid so you can have a message. That is the whole journey of how you go from insecurity to security because somebody is waiting for you to unlock the door. When I'm the security guard, I can come in here and unlock the door.
You got them keys.
I got the keys
in your hand.
Come on now. So get secure about what you've been through because somebody is waiting for you to unlock the door.
Your message got keys to it.
You got a door to unlock.
Somebody else's stuff. Yo,
somebody's door is locked up and your insecurity. We need you to get secure. We need somebody else to get in.
We need you to get out your embarrassment and get up out your
Get out of your shame, right? Get out. Remove the shame and get in your lane. Remember.
Because you got them keys to unlock somebody else.
Wasn't we playing that on our podcast? You got the keys.
I got the keys.
When we had our little radio show, my Lord, you got the keys.
Ain't that stuff? You had one all day.
Well, why did I open up to fear?
Oh my God.
So that's our word for the day.
Come on now.
Fear. It says God gave us his spirit. And the spirit doesn't make us weak and fearful. Instead, the spirit gives us power and love. He helps us control ourselves. 2 Timothy 1:7. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27:1. When I am afraid, I will trust you. I praise God for his word. I trust God, so I am not afraid. What can human beings do to me? Psalms 56:3-4.
Girl, what can human beings do to me?
How am I insecure when I serve a righteous God, a God who when I go and take him my stuff, he gives me back a whole new mindset. See, we go to God and think he gonna just drop it. No, he said, I'm renewing your mind. When you give it to me and you leave it with me, then I say, what did he say? Who shall I fear? I went to God. I am that I am. There's no way. I can't when I am that I am. That I am means anything goes behind that. So why are you afraid when he said, I am a wife? I am a friend. So the last part says, faithful God, with you, I have no need of fear. Doesn't it go to what the F is your mustard seed? That you two cannot be present. God is a vibe and faith is his vibration, which means that fear would be his deceleration. So when you are in fear, you are in the absence of God because there is no fear if he am. Remember that. Fear means you exited out of a relationship with God. You forgot who you're connected to. Sometimes, remember, we lose connection. You know how the Wi-Fi is like, ooh, Losing connection, you got to check yourself. When that fear come in, you got to say, oh God, I'm losing connection, because worry is creeping in. Doubt is creeping in. Don't is creeping in. I am losing connection when fear starts to well up in me. That is an indication that you are out of the presence of God. Fear. Let's put that as a note to ourselves. Yet still, I struggle with it. Fear feels like a living thing. It comes in and it takes hold of my thoughts, lying to me and trying to convince me I can't rely on you to save me. But you are near. I only need to speak your name and fear retreats. Come on now. They said, listen.
It flees. It goes.
Thank you, Jesus, for the saving power of your name. So you call on his name and fear what?
Flees.
It flees.
It go running, y'all.
It get out the way. Because powerful soul, they going to the source.
They don't want to hear that word, honey.
They going to the source. I can't do nothing with them when they in the source.
Call on my name.
So it says, what fears can you give to God right now? That's your assignment for this Monday, this Sabbath. This is a perfect
message. The fear of just doing.
What fears can you give to God today? What fears? What does that look like? That's your job. To decide today, what fear do I have that jeopardizes the relationship to the Almighty? Because when I go to him in fear, he's like, I can't hear that. You're not even in my atmosphere. You talking fear, you must be talking to the devil.
Yeah, correct.
You must be in a prayer relationship with the devil, because he comes in, still kills and destroys. That's your thoughts. Because without thoughts, there are no actions. So I'm going to steal your thoughts. I'm going to kill your thoughts, and I'm going to destroy your thoughts. That's called insecurities. I'm going to steal your thoughts. I'm going to kill your thoughts. Come on now. And I'm going to destroy your thoughts. So when you come in to who you think is God in fear, you ain't doing nothing but talking to the devil.
He is not even up in the presence.
No. You go, oh God, oh powerful God, in case you want to know how to start your prayer. Oh powerful God, who sees all things.
Almighty God.
Right now you see that I am in the presence of the wrong God, because you are not of fear. And so I ask you to refill me with your understanding so that I believe in my end and can get past this situation. But I give my doubts to you. I give my insecurities to you. I give my longing to be seen to you. And because I do that, you honor me. You honor me because I was humble enough to come to you and tell you at this time, I feel like something else is getting in. And I need your power. I need your understanding. I need your confidence. To be in a relationship with God is to be confident about where you are, exactly when you are, at the time you are there. Because being present is the gift. And he said, your gift shall make room for you. That means when I am present with myself, that the room will open up to see who? Not me, but God. Because it is a faith walk. And so don't forget that when them insecurities, I don't give a daggone. You don't need a closet to pray to God. You just need a moment. Dear God, honey, I can feel it. God, free me of this feeling. That's meditation all day. You don't need a quiet space. You don't need music playing. You don't need none of that to talk to God. You need the moment when you get paralyzed to know that in this moment, I don't care what I'm doing or where I'm at. If I do not feel your presence, now is the moment to get to my knees. Now is the moment to ask you to give me what I need to push past this moment, because through all things I could do with you. Once I start thinking that I don't need to go to you, then he's going to show you that you can't do all things. You can barely do nothing. Because when you are inspired and on fire, then you get results. So that's me. I'm the fire. I'm the inspired. Because faith is God.
I'm telling you.
And fear is of the devil.
And you know, it's so crazy because you know, we all can attest to this. You know, we got more bills than money sometimes. And when you say, I don't know how it got paid, God just made a way. And you don't even be worried about the bill because you already know you ain't got the money. But it always get paid some kind of way.
That part.
So it's like, don't have the fear. Just know it's going to get done. It's going to get paid. And it gets paid.
And that's called belief. And belief
is and you'll be like, child, you ain't over here stressed out. You know what? I just gave the call because it works out every time. Money just appears. The bill get paid some kind of way. God. And you know damn well you got more bills than money. So you're like, I don't know how it happens every month, but it does.
But to God be the glory. Until you rewrite the story. To God be the glory till he rewrite the story. We will be grateful in all moments.
That part.
Because one moment is leading to the next moment, and every step matters. It is the energy in which you will occupy when you arrive to the part that you have dreamed of. That is your energy, and that is the belief system, and that is called anointing power. When you are blessed with an anointing and the power to be able to process and not take it personal, but take it process, right? If the grapes complained about getting stomped on, you would never enjoy wine. If the coal complained about being pressed together, you would never get a diamond. Think about the things that require pressure for results to seem true. If that, the pressure cooker never whistled, you wouldn't get your meal in 30 minutes.
That meat wouldn't be that soft, honey.
Because you was running late and you didn't have time to marinate it, to do this. And somebody created a pressure cooker so that in 30 minutes you could do what it took you all day. That's what I'm saying. Pressure breeds results. It also busts pipes.
Yeah, pressure, honey.
So be mindful. Don't bust your pipes, baby. Get under the right type of pressure.
That part.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get these cards in, and we're going to get y'all out. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you catch the replay, I hope you enjoyed it. It was long, so it might be too long to watch, but honey, we had a good time.
It's never too long when it's exciting. It's very interesting.
Ready? Good, set. I am the point. Oh, you got Xenodokio again.
Okay. We just had this Friday.
Friday, right? That was your word Friday, too?
Girl, what that meant, too?
I mean, we got to get out here with these strangers.
My mama called me.
So look at that. I am the promise, which works so clear with today's message. And I am Xenodokio, which once again, we remember that is friendly to strangers. So to be friendly to strangers is to understand that you are your own promise, right?
I'm friendly. I am. Jalen be saying, Mom, why you be talking to
honey?
People? I don't even know.
So I don't know if anybody want to get this picture, but here it goes. Oh, the light just came on too, y'all. So yes, I think understanding that you are the promise is how you release the fear, because there's no reason to be insecure when God have a promise that's locked up in you, because God said, my promises will come to fruition, right? And so I'm giving you insight to what's connected to you so that you could be Xenodokio, which means I can release that unfriendly steer and understand that because you are here, I get to be here. It's a relay race and somebody is relying on. That's why it's matter. Come on now.
Strangers amongst us.
There's no strangers.
We're
all siblings at the end of the day.
We all have one father.
So sip that ling, y'all.
Come on now.
Sibling, honey, is the ing. What you doing about it? So I love it. I love it. We are going to get you guys out of this way. We done had our coffee, conversations, and tea. He had coffee and tea, okay? So with that being said, we want to say thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Conversations. We will definitely be back here on Wednesday. Remember that it is a relay race and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print, because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So remember, we don't compete. Oh, no. We complete. And the difference between those two words is an L. And L stands for love because love rules everything. So remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness, because it is your responsibility. Remember, that's the ability of measurement in which you can respond. Everybody has one. Hashtag I choose me. No more excuses. That's the point, right? Because you were born enough. So you've been tuned in to Coffee and Conversations. So don't forget to wake up and make today count. We love you guys. We'll see you guys later. You have an amazing day.
Enjoy your Monday.
That part. Remember, love grows everything. So love yourself first.